Hello everybody, this is a Lamley sneak peek preview. It's Matchbox Monday, so let's do Matchbox. Matchbox sneak peeks, if you follow the channel, you've seen these already. And I know some of these have come out. Well, I mean, some that we have, I've got this up above, like this one came out, the BMW did a showcase on that one. But I've got some updates, and Matchbox sent me 6 models to do to showcase for you guys, to show you some sneak peeks, some updates on some of the models that are here, which is kind of cool. And it's only 6 models, and the reason that is because I think they're holding some models that they are going to showcase at the Matchbox Gathering of Friends convention, which is next month at the end of July. I will be back this year, and I will live stream the 2025 preview that the Matchbox team will do. I'll even showcase anything else that they bring, and see if I can't get a conversation with Abe or someone in regards to some of the upcoming 2025 models. So a lot of Matchbox coverage over the next few weeks, amongst a million other things I'm doing. And but let's start with this quick update. So if you remember, these are some of the models. This is the RX-3 from that we previewed. That still I don't think is out yet. I can't remember if I showed this one. This was an updated, what model is this? It's not licensed, but it's based on the field car, right? Field car, that one's coming out. We have the Corvette that's coming to basic. Don't think we've seen that one released yet. There's a lot of basics that I need to showcase. This is the collector's, direct-to-consumer version that we haven't seen yet, but we previewed 2 BMWs, if you remember, and this one has just hit the collector's line. I think we previewed that one last week, right, on Matchbox Monday. Radical, that one's coming out, and that one looks pretty cool. That will be in basic. And then I think everyone is looking forward to the moving parts Chevy truck that I know there's a ton of excitement for this one. And very stock looking, and it has the opening hood too, right? Yeah, opening hood. This one's going to be mighty, mighty popular, and looking forward to that. But I have, and then this is the other one that I don't have an update on. Hot Wheels just released their Aston Martin. Matchbox is yet to release theirs. I think this is coming in premium to start. I don't know if it's still super early. It's got a blank chassis. Don't remember this will be a metal chassis like the Audi, but this one is coming and should be out fairly well. We should see some updates, and I'm sure we'll see some updates in Albuquerque. But I do have updates for these two. So let's get to that. Actually, before we do, let's get to let's see, one model, just one that is an already existing model, and it's the Unimog. I cannot remember. This came in the batch, and sometimes they'll send some stuff and they've already been released. I don't believe this Ink Unimog has been released yet, but Ink is a livery, a fantasy construction livery, I think that Michael Giralda developed years and years ago, and we've seen that one come out in several, like 5-packs and things. And I have not collected this. I kind of regret it. David Tilley has all of the inks, and if you have all the inks, this is another one to add to the Unimog. I don't know exactly where it's going to hit, if it's going to be basic or like a 5-pack, but it is on its way. So the Unimog is coming. We'll go ahead. I'll put this one down there below. Yeah, let's do the updates. Let's start with the Nissan Pathfinder, first generation Pathfinder. Doesn't get a lot of representation. Tomic Limited Vintage has done one. So it's really nice to see Matchbox tackling this Pathfinder. This was a pre-production version that they sent. Did have the final, what is there, a year on this one? Yeah, 1985 Nissan Pathfinder in this, this pre-production blue that they use. Well, I have the first version ready to go. So there it is in its pre-production. Here it is in its final form. So this is what it will look like in basics when it first comes out, and I love it. I love the off-road wheels that they used. I'll put it on the turntable, but I'll give you some details on this one. There's the front. I don't know if there's any details other than if I can try and show you the interior if I can. Let me see if I can get the interior scene. Sometimes it's hard to tell if I'm getting it for you. Spare tire looks pretty good. They're using kind of a generic version, and then there is the chassis. We'll go ahead and put it on the turntable now. Standard red color. I love that they're doing this one with just the front details and the rear details. It looks like, I guess we could see some in the future with side detailing, but hopefully not at the sacrifice of the front, because this is part of the headlights and the grille are part of the metal piece. So Sometimes they'll continue like the bumper piece up, and that will create a break. But in this case, I think you always need to do the front tampoing so that they'll have the headlights on that one. And I assume that's the plan here, because this one looks really good. Dig it. Oops, dropped it, of course. Dig this one. I think it's going to be hitting. I think it's a great model for Matchbox to tackle. Just a nice factory version of the first generation Pathfinder. All right, next update that I've got is this one, moving parts. This is I had the name for this one and then I forgot it, but we're going to know the name of it once it comes out. This one had the blank chassis, but I've now got the completed version. I think it's a Chevrolet. You've got the opening door here into the cab, and see, I'm not telling you what it is because I can't remember, but I've got the finished version here, so we'll know. It's the 1961 Chevy Corvair rampside pickup, and it's fantastic. Here it is. I'd have to look it up to see if this is, I assume this is what a factory, because they usually tend to try and do factory colors of at least the first few releases. And this one looks so cool. It's pretty much the same wheels and casting, of course, but now we're getting the front details. I'll show you the moving part. That one, it was kind of loose, but this one, it does kind of stick nicely. So it's like, so it sits here for the ramp. And I mean, I can't put it, well, let's see. You can see how flat it goes. It goes all the way down to the ground, which is nice. So you could, a motorcycle or a lawnmower or anything else you want to use to put up the ramp, that works. And it locks in nicely. Here's the chassis, so you can see that, and then we'll put it on the turntable. 1961 Chevy Corvair rampside pickup. And here it is in that kind of, I don't know, frost blue or something like that, grayish blue. Looks really cool with the stripes in the front wrapping around. This one doesn't get the taillights done. It would be nice. I'm sure in a premium collector's version we'll get that. But that's what you get with the moving parts, and considering the price is still pretty good for moving parts, you're getting the moving part and a pretty full tampo. I think this one's pretty good. I'm sure we'll see some with the rear tampo. It doesn't bother me as long as the headlights are done. It's far more important that the headlights get done. I mean, I would like to see the taillights done too. Don't get me wrong, but this one, as is with the side stripes, I think that break in the side stripes is really important. That thing is super, super cool. So go ahead and put that there. We can even open it up like that. You can see it really does go down to the ground, which is really nice. All right, I think those are the updates. So now we have 3 other models that are brand new castings. I think all of them are opening parts. So we'll start with the car that car aficionados have loved forever. They get so passionate about this car whenever I show it to them, or whenever they see it on the road. You just see people stop in their tracks, fumble to get their phones to take pictures of it. I'm being sarcastic. It's the Toyota Prius. I'm not ripping on the Prius. I know a lot of people do. Our friend at Hot Wheels, Jimmy Lou, has a Prius. He's actually made it pretty sporty. But I love that Matchbox does these cars that, whether you even like them or not, that represent kind of like what is on the road. I think Matchbox should always do their fair share of cars like these. And so this is the newest generation Prius, which I actually think, as far as Priuses go, is actually really good looking. I really like how it's done, pretty sporty. There is the interior. Opening doors on this one. Show it to you from the other side as well. I love that they do these nice, the nice give on the doors too. They click together nicely. I'd rather have, an entire fleet of cars, some classics, some modern cars, some what we would dub boring cars, and cars that you would see on the road that maybe don't garner too much attention. The Prius is one of them, and then there's been a push with Matchbox of late to do more EVs, so this one obviously fits in that too. They did the first, or was it second generation Prius, and so this one adds to that, and I think it's great that I really do think that it's great that they did the Prius. So we'll go ahead and actually, I'll put that right there. I don't think this could be a more opposite car from the Prius. I mean, maybe like some gas guzzling Bigfoot type truck would be more of an opposite, but in terms of car style, the Prius is one. The 1992 Buick Roadmaster Estate is a complete other car. Here it is in all of its wood paneling glory. I'm not gonna try and, when I get these models out of the case and stuff, maybe I'll do a showcase with other wood paneled wagons. Matchbox has done a few. The one I think of right offhand is the Oldsmobile Vista Cruiser, and now they have, that was a 70s model. This is a, what did I say the year was? 1992 Buick Roadmaster. Opening doors on this one as well. I'll give you that. I'll show you the interior. No opening tailgate. They just did the opening doors, which, again, I've said this about opening parts. I'm fine with them. I think it's a good differentiator from Matchbox to Hot Wheels. At the same time, I don't, you know, the tailgates, whatever, I think it's fine. I think this is a great car. Kind of, you know, has that vibe, that early 90s Chevy Caprice, Buick Roadmaster. They have these, like, these kind of blob looks. What was it? The Ford Taurus, too. The wagon had that blob. You know what? Mercury Sable you could compare to this one. They did a wood-paneled white Mercury Sable, so this is definitely a sequel to that, of the blob cars of the 90s. I'll definitely bring those out together. Maybe I'll even do like an Instagram short and a YouTube short for this, because I think that's a perfect one. But I do like this Roadmaster. I know scale-wise it's not totally on, but they've got to stay within a certain size here, and I love that they did the Roadmaster. Such a great addition. Lastly, I did a little feature on this. Hopefully you saw it. If you didn't, here's some close-ups of it. I didn't give it a ton of close-ups, but this one is a unique model, and I think folks are going to dig it. 1965 Land Rover Series 2 camper. I did not know they were doing this one. I don't know if they previewed this one last year. Maybe they did. I don't remember. You guys might. But it's fantastic. Now, I'll give you some details on this. You might be asking, is it all plastic? Is it... It actually has a plastic chassis, and it has a plastic, the camper portion is plastic. The door, if you can see, is actually metal, and the cab, it's really hard to tell, but the cab itself is metal as well. I don't know how to even show you, but I mean, maybe you can see kind of you can see the reflection on the paint, the glare on the paint versus the plastic. So it's got some metal components, and I just imagine there's just too much going on for them to do it all metal. But I think the plastic in this case works because it's super, super crisp. I know I use the word crisp, but it makes it so they can add some other details. And if you go inside, and I'll show you that, hopefully you can see it, you've got a fairly detailed interior on this. You've got an interior on the you've got seats on the inside, and then you have, if you go through here, I don't know if you can see that, but you've got like a little table with some plates and pots on it. In the back, there's a little sink thing. Again, it's really hard to tell. You have to take my word for it here. Maybe in the window, it's really hard to tell. I'm a little limited in how I can show things here, but maybe, I don't know if you can see in there. There we go. There is a lot of detail, hard to keep it focused, but it's there. Anyway, it's a really, really cool model. It's such a unique, and I went and looked it up, did find some versions that were similar to this camper, and I just think, while it's not going to be as big, you know, it's off a little bit scale-wise, just because they have to fit these in the blisters on the card and keep it in that, you know, basic or moving parts, because it always has the opening door. But it's a neat, oh wait, I didn't even notice till just a second. There's another moving part on this one. It has a sliding window up top. I was showing that to you, didn't you realize you can actually close the window as well. So it has opening door, opening window, and yeah, that's a rad model. I really dig this one. Doesn't fit in my case, so I'll just put it down below. But there you go. Matchbox 2024 Sneaks. Look for them to be hitting soon in your basic range, moving parts, even collector. I think there's a nice group of models, and we're going to go full-fledged sneak peeks here in just about a month. You guys tell me what you think. Thanks, everybody. Bye.